1 month ago, Russia invaded the Ukraine. Shortly after, Vladimir Putin announced he was conducting what he claimed to be a special military operation in the Ukraine. The Russian military poured down a rain of fire on the peaceful streets of the Ukraine, ending thousands of innocent lives. This is a war, plain and simple. It's a war that was started by a power-hungry tyrant hell-bent on restoring the former Soviet Union. President Biden cannot sit idly by and allow Kiev to become Kabul, or else we will see the end of peace. The situation in Ukraine didn't start overnight. From the moment the former KGB officer became the leader of Russia, Vladimir Putin has dreamed of bringing back the Soviet Union. And in his own words, he said the collapse of the Soviet Union was a genuine tragedy and that he would reverse it if he could. Cue the Stalin wannabes crackdown on his own citizens and his neighbors. In 2008, he invaded Georgia. In 2014, he annexed Crimea. In 2015, he deployed Russian troops to Syria to keep his puppet regime in line. President Obama failed to put a check on Putin's ruthlessness and aggression, which only grew unchecked over time. And after the world watched President Biden's disaster in Afghanistan, Putin decided it was the time for him to act. On February 24th of this year, Russia invaded sovereign Ukraine before the sunrise.
О проведении специальной военной операции.
Putin positioned 80% of the Russian military to attack the Ukraine, thinking Kiev would snap and fall into the hands of the Kremlin in a matter of days. He thought that Ukrainians would welcome the oppressors into their lands and celebrate the Russian occupation. However, Putin didn't expect the resilience of the Ukrainian people and the resistance to the grip of the Kremlin. Thousands have died. Millions have lost their homes. But the Ukrainians have continued to fight on the front lines of freedom and the front lines of democracy. The United States is supposed to be the epitome of freedom and democracy. And that is why we must stand with the Ukrainian people. We promised them that we would. In 1994, we signed the Budapest Memorandum and agreed that the United States would protect the Ukraine if they gave up their nuclear weapons, which they did. And if we do not act now and make it clear that Putin's aggression will not be tolerated, then we know that he won't stop there. If we fail to act, the tragedy that we see in the Ukraine will spill over to our NATO allies and to our backyards. I do not believe that we can sit idly by while thousands of Ukrainians are killed and millions more are displaced. If we don't keep our promises, and if we don't stand for democracy, we will lose our standing as the leader of the world. In his address to Congress, President Zelensky said,
"Being the leader of the world means to be the leader of peace."
We need to act now, and through strength, bring peace. The alternative is Putin's war and the rebirth of the Soviet Union.